Good morning, man. Good morning, all of you. In previous class, we have seen that biomolecule chapter was completed. Okay, I hope you are very clear about the biomolecule chapter. And one more thing, we received one PDF that what are the topics they are going to reduce in our portion. Okay, that one okay. Polymers topic I completed. Biomolecules topic are also completed. Okay, now after that, we have a small doubt that metallurgy topic is there or not. Even fifth surface chemistry, some topics are going to be reduced. Okay, keep all those things aside. Now I am going to start coordination compounds. That is chapter 9, volume 1. Okay, one thing I want to give conclusion, that is volume 2 is completed. Volume 2's total 7 chapters are there. Okay, organic chemistry 4 chapters. Haloalkanes and haloarenes, alcohols, phenols and ethers. Third one, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. Next, amines, polymers, biomolecules. These 6 chapters are completed. Next, you have to do your work. Okay, at once if it is confirmed with whatever the syllabus we have, according to that we will go through. Okay, we will filter all those things and we will go through, no problem. Now, in volume 1, we are remain with some more chapters. Those chapters we will start with that one. Now, I am going to teach for you, that is started with coordination compounds. Okay, slightly before going to the coordination compounds, okay, these coordination compounds are specially formed by D block elements, not by any other metals. Generally, these are majorly formed by D block elements. Okay, let us see. In periodic table, simple representation of periodic table here. Like this, easily we can represent the periodic table. This left side 2 groups are there, those are called S block elements. These 6 groups are called P block elements. This is D block element and this is F block. In volume 1 only we have P block elements, D and F block elements. Okay, before going to the 2 chapters, first I will give some important points in periodic classification. Definitely I will explain what about periodic classification. After that only those 2 chapters will be taught for you. Now this coordination compounds is not at all related to periodic classification, no problem. Not at all related, but I want to say for you, these D block elements are there na? These D block elements are going to show major number of coordination compounds. Major number of coordination compounds are formed by D block elements. Why, sir? What is the specialty? Okay, let us see one example. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. These are examples for D block elements. Like this continuation group is there. Scandium after that some elements, titanium after that some elements, 3 elements like that. These are all coming under D block. 4 series are there. This is 3D 3D series. Next 4D like this 10 elements are there. 5D series like this 10 elements are there. 6D also like this. 4 series of elements are present in D block elements. Okay, all those things no need. Now let us see the electronic configuration of these elements. Up to argon same only. Argon 3D1 4S1 4S2. This is 3D2 4S2. This is 3D3 4S3. Sorry, 4S2. Chromium 3D4 4S2. Manganese 3D5 4S2. 3D6 4S2. 3D7 4S2. 3D8 4S2. 3D9 4S2. 3D10 4S2. Like that we can write electronic configuration. You know also how to write the electronic configuration. Argon is same only, everywhere argon is same. Okay, now the importance of these elements are they can use outermost 4s electrons as well as 3d inner electrons, 3d electrons also to be participating in chemical reactions. Specialty of these elements is, if you take s block elements and p block elements, they can use outermost electrons only. We have seen in chemical bond also. Okay, they can use only outermost electrons, valence electrons only to be involved in bonding. But specialty of these d block elements are they can use outermost 4s electrons as well as 3d electrons also. Okay, major atoms, they contain empty 3d orbitals. See, 3d1, 5 orbitals are there, it has only 1 electron. Remaining 4 are empty. Like this, next 3 are empty. Like that, maximum all the elements except zinc, remaining all the elements contain empty d orbitals. Remaining all the elements contain empty d orbitals. If they have empty orbitals, these elements are behaving like Lewis acids. If they have empty orbitals, these elements are behaving like Lewis acids. Correct? Then other side, if any Lewis base is there, like NH3, NH3 lone pair. NH3 has lone pair na ammonia. Okay, go just see all of you. I will come. See all of you. See, maximum except zinc, remaining all the elements contain empty d orbitals. Okay, if they have empty d orbitals, they are behaving like Lewis acids, like that we have seen. Other side, NH3, like that elements, they have lone pair of electrons. Cl minus, it has pair of electrons. NH3, H2O. H2O has lone pair of electrons. So these lone pair of electrons can be donated into the empty d orbitals. Simply I am telling here, mechanism, total, everything I will tell later. Okay, see, these are behaving like Lewis bases. These are behaving like Lewis bases. NH3, N. It can donate the lone pair of electrons into the empty orbital of d orbital. By that, it can form coordinate covalent bond. Lewis base, Lewis acid. They can form coordinate covalent bond from donor to acceptor. They can form coordinate covalent bond. The type of compounds which contain these are called coordination compounds. These are in complex shape, little bit complex. That's why these are also called complex compounds. These coordination compounds are also called as complex compounds. Okay, ma? If they are able to form coordinate covalent bond, that is nothing but covalent bond, but complete electrons are donated by one side only. Coordinate covalent bonds are nothing but covalent bonds only, which cannot be ionized by water. Covalent compounds are not dissolved in water. Now, whatever I am telling now, those are all important points. If it is contained by ionic bond, those are ionized by water. That means they can be dissolved in water. If it is contained by coordinate covalent bond or covalent bond, they cannot be dissolved in water. Is it correct or not? Covalent compounds are not dissolved in water. So here NH3, like that donors, they can donate into the empty d orbitals of these d block elements and they can form coordinate covalent bonds. Okay, and because of this reason, they can use the empty d orbitals as well as outermost 4s electrons also. There is a separate capability for these d block elements to form this type of compounds, which are called coordination compounds or complex compounds. Or complex compounds. Okay, this is a special property for d block elements. Now we will go through what about the characteristics, all these things, as well as what are the basic terms, and up to some extent we will go through coordination compounds. Okay, ma? This is like introduction part we completed today. As they have empty d orbitals, they are behaving like Lewis acids, ma? And other side Lewis bases are there. From Lewis bases to Lewis acids, there is a chance of formation of coordinate covalent bond. Okay, now next one more point here. We have to know the difference between this coordination compound and double salt. coordination compound and double salt. See, coordination compound example K4FeCN6. This is example for coordination compound. Coming to double salt, KCl MgCl2 6H2O, Carnallite. That is example for double salt. Okay, what is the difference between double salt and coordination compound? See, if this coordination compound is added to water, it will be ionized, okay, but not completely ionized. It will be ionized but not completely ionized. Okay, what is the part it will be getting ionized? See, between K ion and this total, there is ionic bond. This is K plus ion, this is FeCN6 minus 4 ion, this is negative ion, this is positive ion, there is ionic bond. So these two will be ionized. K plus FeCN6 minus 4. 4 K plus ions and FeCN6 minus 4. This FeCN6 minus 4, further it will not be ionized. It is Fe plus 2 Cn minus, like that it will not be ionized, because cyanide is going to donate electrons into the empty d orbital of iron to form coordinate covalent bond, which cannot be ionized by water. This is contained by coordinate covalent bond, which is not ionized by water. So this part is not going to be ionized. This is remained as minus 4 only. This is contained by 4K plus. Further ionization is not possible. So when a compound is added to water, it will not undergo complete ionization. Instead of that, it will undergo partial ionization. Ionization means splitting of compound into ions. Splitting of compound into positive ions and negative ions. That is called ionization. Okay. That ionization process is not completely undergone by coordination compound. But if double salt undergoes addition with water, if double salt is added to water, we will get K plus ions, Cl minus ions, Mg plus 2 ions, Cl minus ions. Anyway, this is water only. It will be added to water. All the ions we will get. Every part, see, KCl, MgCl, completely it will be dissociated into all the ions, individual ions. That is called double salt. This is like ionic compound only. It does not contain any covalent bonds or coordinate covalent bonds. But here, between iron and cyanide, we have coordinate covalent bond. They cannot be ionized. That is the difference between coordination compound and double salt. Are you clear, ma? This is the difference between coordination compound and double salt. Observe. Okay, I hope you are clear about the difference between coordination compound and double salt. How that coordination compounds are formed by exclusively D block elements, that one also explanation we have seen. Everything, are you clear, ma? This is like basic introduction about coordination compounds. Now we will see Werner's theory of coordination compounds. Okay, Werner's theory of coordination compounds, it was given by Werner. Name of the scientist is Werner. This Werner concluded one experiment with 4 compounds. What are those 4 compounds? We will see now. This Werner took 4 compounds, those are CO, cobalt, Cl3, NH36, CO, Cl2, Cl3, NH35, CO, cobalt only, Cl3, NaH3 4, CO Cl3 NH3 4. Sir, what is the thing you have written? Third one and fourth one both are same. No problem. You understand, ma? 4 different compounds was taken by were taken by 4 different compounds were taken by Werner, like this. Okay. He doesn't know what is this compound structure. Okay. Chlorines are present. Where the chlorines are present, NH3s are present, like that. He doesn't know anything. Okay. Now what is the thing he is going to conclude? Just 1 minute, ma. This final compound is in violet color. This is in green color. This is in purple color. This is in red color. If any small thing disturbance with color, ma, you can understand. You can just refer that one. No problem. Maximum. This is in 4 different. These 4 compounds are in different colors. 4 compounds are in different colors. This compound is in red color. This compound is in purple color. This one is in green. This one is in violet. Doubt for me. This one. Okay, no problem. Whether it is red or any other thing, it is remembering point only. No problem. Okay. Now, scientist he has taken one thing, that is, this compound he has taken in aqueous solution. That means he dissolved in water. This compound, every compound. So this is aqueous solution. Even this is also aqueous solution. Aqueous. Okay. Now let us see. Beaker 1 contains this aqueous solution. Beaker 2 contains this aqueous solution. Beaker 3 contains this aqueous solution, and beaker 4 contains this aqueous solution. Okay. Now for every beaker, equal amount of AgNO3 he added. For every beaker, equal amount of AgNO3. Suppose he has taken some 10 moles of AgNO3. He has taken some 10 moles of AgNO3. This 10 moles of AgNO3 was added to every beaker equally. 10 moles here, here 10 moles, here 10 moles, and here 10 moles. Okay. Now, what he observed? After addition of this AgNO3, 10 moles of AgNO3 to this first beaker, he got some precipitate. That precipitate is AgCl. That precipitate is AgCl. Okay. He has taken that precipitate and he weighed that one. By seeing the weight, he can go through number of moles. Suppose 1 mole, 108 grams. Sorry. 1 mole, 108 plus 35.5 143.5 grams. 1 mole of AgCl, how much? 143.5 grams. Okay, from first beaker, he got 3 moles of AgCl. From first beaker, he got 3 moles of AgCl. From second beaker, that quantity is less. 3 moles of AgCl means 3 into 143.5 grams seen on weighing machine. Easily we can get, no problem. From that we can convert into moles. 1 mole of AgCl, 143.5. This AgCl obtained from first beaker is there, na? That one kept it on weighing machine. He observed that some 3 into 143.5. Okay. Then he concluded that 3 moles of AgCl was obtained from beaker 1. How much amount? 3 moles of AgCl was obtained from first beaker. Next. From second beaker, also he obtained some AgCl. But previously how much amount of AgCl was obtained? That much amount is not obtained from here. This is only 2 moles of AgCl. This is only 2 moles of AgCl. Next, from third beaker and fourth beaker, that quantity is further less. These two are same. 1 mole of AgCl and this is also 1 mole of AgCl. From first beaker, how much amount of AgCl he got? 3 moles of AgCl. From second beaker, what is the amount of AgCl he got? 2 moles of AgCl. From third beaker, 1 mole of AgCl. Fourth beaker also 1 mole of AgCl he got. Okay, and he got little bit struck. What is the reason? From different beakers we got different amount of AgCl. Okay, see that one, all of you once. What is the reason we got different amounts of AgCl from different beakers? Okay, now he gave one conclusion. What is that conclusion? See all of you. First compound formula, he wrote it as CONH36 Cl3. Second compound formula, he wrote it as CONH35 Cl2. Next, third compound, CONH35 Cl2, NH3 not no 4 only. Outside Cl. Fourth compound formula also he wrote it as CONH34 Cl2 Cl. Like this, he wrote 4 formulae for 4 compounds. Okay, and he told that the chlorines which are present outside the square bracket, those are only ionizable. Ionizable means these chlorines only they can react with silver. Here AgNO3 is converted to Ag plus and NO3 minus. Na? Okay, AgNO3 is contained by Ag plus and NO3 minus. Here how many chlorines? See ma, this is like excess reagent. That is no problem. How much amount of AgNO3 is NO3 is kept? No problem. How much amount of chlorine is available? How much amount of chlorine is available? 3 moles of chlorine outside. Then 3 moles of chlorine react with 3 moles of Ag to form how much amount of AgCl? 3 moles of AgCl. In second compound, outside the square bracket, how many chlorines are present? 2 moles of chlorine. Then this 2 moles of chlorine react with 2 moles of Ag and it will form 2 moles of AgCl. In third compound, how much amount of Cl is outside the square bracket? 1 mole of Cl. 1 mole of Cl reacts with 1 mole of Ag to form 1 mole of AgCl. Same thing is happened for fourth compound. Okay, in this way he concluded the formula of these compounds like this. Inside the square bracket, every time total it is maintaining 6. Here NH3 6. Here 5 plus 1 6. 4 plus 2 6. 4 plus 2 6. Why that is showing 6 inside and outside it is 3 2 like this, you will understand. But outside 3 2 1 1, you are getting clarity about here. Is it correct or not? Outside why it is 3 2 1 1 we wrote. That clarity you got from amount of AgCl obtained. From first beaker we obtained 3 moles of AgCl, precipitate. AgCl will not be dissolved, it is a precipitate. 3 moles of AgCl, 2 moles of AgCl, 1 mole of AgCl, 1 mole of AgCl. Then we expected that, okay, in first beaker, 3 chlorines are outside. Those 3 chlorines are only getting ionized. Those 3 chlorines are only getting ionized. These NH3s are in coordinate covalent bond, so they cannot be ionized. We told in coordination compounds, they cannot be ionized completely. Okay, he told this is square bracket and outside it is Cl3. Next square bracket. This Cl which is present inside, it is included in coordinate covalent bond. That's why it is not ionized. The chlorine which is present inside, it is bonded to cobalt with coordinate covalent bond. That's why it is not ionized with water. So outside how many are there? 2 chlorines. Those 2 are only getting ionized. So we got 2 AgCl. Then Two chlorines which are present inside in third compound, those two are also included in coordinate covalent bond with cobalt. So final conclusion is the particles which are present outside the square bracket, those particles are only getting ionized with remaining square bracket. See, this part is going to be ionized. CONH36 plus 3, 3Cl minus. CONH35Cl, total minus plus 2, this is 2Cl minus. Like that, outside particles are only getting ionized. Okay, inside it will be remain like coordinate covalent bond, compound only, entire compound. Like that, he made one conclusion according to the obtained AgCl. I hope you understood everyone, man. Okay, now I am going to rub this one. Then what about third compound and fourth compound? Third compound and fourth compound, they have same formula but different colors, meaning these two are isomers. So we can understand in coordination compounds also we have isomers topic. In coordination compounds also we have isomers topic. Okay, the compounds which are third compound and fourth compound, both are differed in colors, na? Those two compounds have same molecular formula, that is same formula, but they are differed in colors, na? Those two are coming under isomers. Okay, now what are the points concluded by Venner's theory? Let us see them. Did you understand, ma? Before going to the points, ma, he made one more conclusion, that is this compound, when it is added to water, it will form CONH3 6 plus 3 plus 3Cl minus ions. This is totally 1 ion. This is 3 ions. This is represented by 1:3. 1 cation, 3 anions. This one, when it is added to water, we will get CONH3 5Cl plus 2 plus 2Cl minus. Here 1 cation, 2 anions. So this is 1:2 electrolyte. This compound, when it is added to water, means aqueous solution if you make, we will get CONH3 4 Cl2 4 plus 1 plus Cl minus, which is 1:1 electrolyte. 1 cation and 1 anion. Next, this one, when it is added to water, same CONH3 4 Cl2 plus 1 plus Cl minus. This is also 1:1. See how many ions, chlorine ions are given out. That much amount of AgCl is formed. 3Cl minus ions, 3 moles of AgCl. 2Cl minus 2 moles of AgCl. 1 mole of Cl minus, it will be given as 1 mole of AgCl. This is about complete data regarding these 4 compounds. Okay, ma? Now let us see. Venner's theory, first point. Every coordination compound contains central metal atom. Metal atom or metal ion. First point under Venner's theory, every coordination compound contains central metal ion or metal atom. Okay, next, second one. Metal atom contains 2 valencies. Metal atom contains metal atom in coordination compounds. Complete we are talking about coordination compounds only. Okay. Metal atom. Every coordination compound contains central metal atom or ion. That metal atom or ion contains two valencies. Those two valencies are A, primary valency, and B, secondary valency. Metal atom such that ion contains two valencies. Those two valencies are 1A, primary valency, B, secondary valency. This primary valency is ionizable. Secondary valency will contribute coordination number. Okay, see to the points once again. Venner's theory, first point. Every coordination compound contains central metal ion such that atom. Okay, second one. Central metal atom such that ion contains two valencies, primary valency and secondary valency. Okay, outside the square bracket we wrote in every compound. That is primary valency, which is ionizable in water. One more time. Outside the square bracket we wrote in every compound 3 chlorines, 2 chlorines, 1 chlorine, 1 chlorine, like that. Okay, those are all coming under primary valency, which is ionizable. Inside the square bracket, everywhere we wrote in that compounds, that compound is called, that inside the square bracket whatever we are writing, that is secondary valency. That secondary valency will contribute coordination number. In previous four compounds, four because we have taken that four compounds, inside the square bracket number is 6 only. In first compound NH3 6, second compound NH3 5 Cl, in third compound NH3 4 Cl2. Like that, in every compound coordination number is 6. Secondary valency will contribute coordination number. What is the coordination number? 6. Okay, and one more point under this Venner's theory, that is third one. General coordination number numbers are 6, 4 in our coordination compounds. Okay, and shapes are octahedral, square planar, and tetrahedral. What are the shapes we have studied in chemical bond? Same shapes only, but these are formed by coordinate covalent bonds. Okay, but no problem. General coordination numbers shown in our coordination compounds, those are 6 and 4, and the structures are octahedral, square planar, and tetrahedral. 6 means octahedral definitely. 4 means, depending on hybridization, that might be square planar or tetrahedral. Next coming classes we will see what are the structures also, everything. Okay, this Venner's theory complete data was not given. Little bit basic idea about coordination compounds he gave. Okay, ma? Venner's theory complete information he didn't give, but some basic concepts. What are the important concepts present in these coordination compounds he gave? What are those? These are the points coming under Venner's theory. It was completed, ma. Okay, what is that? First one, every coordination compound contains central metal ions as that atom. Next, second one, metal atom such that ion contains two valencies. What are those two valencies? Primary valency and secondary valency. Primary valency is ionizable. Secondary valency will contribute coordination number. Third point, general coordination numbers are 6, 4. Inside the square bracket, generally we will observe whether 6 or 4. Okay, if it is 6, perfectly that is octahedral. If it is 4, that might be square planar or tetrahedral. That one in next coming classes we will get clarity about all these things, ma. Okay, this is about Venner's theory. Are you clear? What is that 1:2 ratio electrolyte? What is that 1:1 electrolyte? All these things previously we have seen. Okay, this is about introduction part, and up to Venner's theory we have seen. Are you clear, ma? Once write the points clearly, all of you. Okay, one thing I would like to say. What are the topics present in coordination compounds? Maximum all the topics I will teach. Okay, at once perfect announcement came for us regarding reduction of portion. At that time we will prepare. First, if you listen to the concept, nothing will be happen. Please go through the concept whatever I am giving for you. Okay, completely whatever it is present in our textbook, which is useful for your competitive exams also, I will give everything. Okay, ma'am. According to our reduced syllabus, a little bit more time is there na, at the time of revision. Now just at the time of chapter is going on, you can prepare. Okay, at the time of perfect revision we will filter that one and we will go through. Okay, ma. Are you clear about volume 2 completely? Volume 2 we completed all the chapters except chemistry and everyday life, but in that reduced portion they deducted the chemistry and everyday life. But if they include next coming revision time also, no problem, that is important questions only. There is no much important concept in chemistry in everyday life. That is not a matter. Okay, let us think that volume 2 is completed. Next, coming to volume 1, important first 3 chapters we completed, na? They gave in reduced portion some amount of solid state also. No problem. First we will go through remaining chapters. After that, slowly I will include the solid state also by getting confirmation completely. Okay, till that your duty is you should not get confusion regarding your syllabus. Please don't get confusion. Whatever the data I am giving for you, please go through as it is. Okay, definitely at the time of revision time, we are all going to meet, and in our school only we are going to revise. Definitely. Like this it won't be happened. At that time, what are the things you have to follow and what are the things you are going to study, I will take care of everything. Okay, ma'am? That one I would like to say. So now it is going on with coordination compounds chapter. What are the things I am going to teach for you? Just go through like that only. Okay. This is about today's class. I hope you are very clear about today's class, no? Okay. We will continue with some basic concepts of some basic terms which are useful in coordination compounds in next class. Okay. That is about today's class. Thank you. Thank you all.